It is a brand new episode of New Start Monday Knits. I am here every Monday night showing you some new yarn that I'm casting on for the week, talking about projects that I have worked on this past week, and doing a little knitting tutorial. And tonight's happens to be about the Finchley Grafting method, which is a really fun and easy alternative to Kitchener stitch. So if Kitchener stitching is something that intimidates you or you have a hard time remembering um, those stitches that go in knitwise and purlwise and which ones come off and which ones stay on, this may do the trick for you for finishing off the toes of a cuff down sock. So if you're somebody who has always done toe up socks just so you can avoid Kitchener stitch, this may be something that you want to try. So I hope everybody has had a great Monday. Lisa, how are you? Oh, 10 a.m. for you. See, it is 8 o'clock Monday evening, so it's Tuesday for you. Well, I hope your Monday went well. Mine was just absolutely crazy, if I'm being totally honest. I am glad my workday is done and I am home chatting with you guys and just gonna put my feet up for the rest of the night. Hi, James and Zakia. How are you guys doing tonight? So, Finchley method of grafting. We're going to start. So, pretend my little sample here. Hey, Lisa, how are you? We're going to pretend this little sample is the toe of a sock. It could be anything that you want to join two sets of live stitches and close. So, this could be the top of a mitten. It could be the toe of a sock. If you're doing a little bag, you could be closing off one end and leaving the other end open. So we got to do a couple things first. So you're going to want a darning needle, and we're going to cut our yarn. We're going to make sure that we've got an even number of stitches. So we should have, I think I have 12 on each needle. Hi, Jocelyn. And we're going to make sure that our needle tips are pointing to the right and our working yarn is attached to the right hand side. James, you're weaving again. That's awesome. Oh, a mat for the, oh, a mat for the windowsill. It's very lovely. Okay, scissors. I always leave at least 6 lengths widthwise here of what my project is. So I just have a little bit here. So I'm going to make sure I've got at least 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to go, we'll do 7 just for good measure because I do not want to run out. Always err on having a little bit more than being a little on the short side. So here I am. Even number of stitches on my front needle and my back needle. I've cut a length of yarn. 6. How do I want to say that? 6 width. 6 times the width of your stitches width of your stitches you're going to stitch. Does that make sense? Do you guys all know what I mean? Then you're going to thread it onto a darning needle. So far this is totally the same as Kitchener stitch, but this is where we change it up. With Kitchener stitching, we would just start working with our wrong sides together. The Finchley method is the opposite. We want the right sides together. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this inside out. So I'm going to pull it up onto the cables just so nothing falls off the needle tips. I'm going to take the bottom of my work and I'm going to push it up through so I can turn it. So I've got the right sides are going to be facing and the wrong side. The right sides are facing each other. The wrong side is now facing us. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Oh, Kathy, oh, you've been having problems with your phone? Oh, that's always frustrating. Okay, so now we're going to start working, and this is where it gets really easy. We are just working from front to back, and back to front. And we're dropping one stitch off every time we go one direction and the other direction. So it's not as opposed to Kitchener stitch where you're always working 2 stitches on the front, 2 stitches on the back. Finchley method, you don't have to do that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start at the front. The needle that's closest to you, you're going to take the darning needle and you're going to go through that stitch. So you're going through that knitwise. You're just pretending that darning needle is your knitting needle and you're just putting it in. You're putting it in through the center of the stitch, which is knitwise. You're pulling it through. And now we're going to drop off that back stitch. We went front to back. Now we're going to drop off the back stitch and snug it up. Now we're going to come from the back to the front. So what we want to do, there's our back stitch. We want to come through the center, right in between the 2 legs of that stitch. Just bring your darning needle in through the center of that stitch and then in through the center of that stitch on the front needle and pull it through. We've gone back to front. Now we're going to drop off the front needle. And those are the 2 methods, the 2 movements, that's what I want to say, 2 movements, hi Amber, that we're just going to repeat across the front of the row, across the row. So this is super easy because now I've stopped working and I'm chit-chatting to you guys. With Kitchener stitching, it gives me heart palpitations to stop Kitchener stitching partway across the row because you really have to be careful and remember where you left off. The Finchley method, there's an easy way to know. If you get distracted, your phone rings, you get a text or whatever, and then you look at your work and you're like, oh my gosh, which way was I going? Was I going front to back to front? You look at where your yarn's attached. Where your yarn is attached, that's where you start. That's where you insert your needle. So mine is attached to the front, so I know I'm going in through the front. So I just take my darning needle, I go in knitwise through this front stitch, the first stitch on my front needle, and then I go through knitwise on the stitch on the back. Pull it through. I went front to back. I drop off the back stitch. And then the yarn's attached to the back, so we know that's where we're going to start. I come in through the center of the stitch on the back and the center of the stitch on the front needle, and I pull it through. I came back to front, so I drop off the front stitch and go front to back and pull it through, drop off the back stitch. And there, and again, just like with Kitchener stitch, you're going to want to pull those stitches snugly, but not super tight. You don't want it super loose. Super loose is probably easier to go back in and tighten up if you have to. So I'm just going to keep going back to front. Now there's a couple of reasons you would want to do this. And the first one I've already said, because it's easier. It's easier to remember. You've got less motions to go through. And it is supposed to prevent having those little pointy ends, those little pointy points on either end. So we'll see. I will just try to quickly work my way across here and then we can inspect that. Now those little pointy ends when I do Kitchener stitch don't typically bother me too badly because you've got your working yarn that you're going to weave in. So I always just kind of work those, pull that tail down snugly, and that little point, it kind of tucks it in out of the way. Okay, so here's my next thing. So if I'm chatting, if you're doing this at night, let's pretend we're in-person knit night. Let's pretend that. And you've got your best knitting buddies are sitting across the table. Oh, Amber, did I put on makeup? I always put on makeup. I always have makeup on. Does it look more like I have it on tonight? So pretend you're chatting, and then all of a sudden you think to yourself, did I take that stitch off? I know I pulled the yarn through. Did I take that stitch off? So how you'll know, I went in back to front. So my front stitch needs to come off. If I didn't take it off and I go to put my darning needle back through that, all you're going to do is you're going to undo that yarn you just put through on the last time is going to pop out. So then you're going to see right there, you're going to catch yourself. You'll be like, oh, shoot, that stitch already had the yarn pulled through and I forgot to pop it off the needle. So now I'm just going to take it off. So it's a good way to catch yourself. And again, my yarn's at the front of my work, so I'm going to go in front to back. So it is very easy. So we'll just keep working across the row. Maybe I should have made my sample a little smaller. Has anybody tried this? I know a couple people that I know have tried this, and they like doing this with their cuff down socks. Have any of you tried this? It's actually pretty slick. I don't have any problem doing Kitchener stitch, but this is definitely just a little less thinking power. Now, some places where you couldn't do this is if you wanted to stitch up both ends. Say you were doing like my pot holder that I had done in the round, did the provisional cast on, and then Kitchener stitched the bottom, and then Kitchener stitched my live stitches. You wouldn't be able to do that with this because you have to have an open end to put it right side out again. But it works great for any other kind of project. All right, have I done enough here yet? Hi, Karen, how are you? Oh, you've never tried this? Well, you know what? My friend Marg, she has been mentioning it to me. Every time I talk about something, you know, saying, oh, I'm ready to Kitchener stitch my socks, she'll be like, try the Finchley method. Try the Finchley method. So, Marg, if you watch this, I am finally doing it. Right after Marg had mentioned it to me, I went and I looked it up on YouTube and I thought, oh, okay, that looks really easy. But there again, I didn't actually do it because I just, you know, thought, oh, Kitchener stitch is what I know. And that's what I just gravitate to. Okay, so I'll go through this again. I'm down to my last few stitches. My yarn is attached to the back, so that means I'm going to start working from the back. I'm going to take my darning needle, I'm going to go through the center of the stitch on my back needle, through the center of the stitch on the front needle, pull it all the way through, and then we went back to front, so that means the front stitch drops off. Now we're going to go front to back and just slide it through. Front to back means the back stitch comes off. And now we have a kitty on the lap. Because, you know, no, I haven't announced the yarn for the new winner yet. I'm going to get to that. Okay, so now I'm at the back, so I'm coming. Hi, Daisy. Back to front through the center of the stitch. And I started at the back to front, so that means the stitch on the front needle comes off. And okay, well, we'll see. I was gonna say, yes, you see a daisy tail, I know. Okay, so here's a good example. As we were chatting, I obviously did something wrong, maybe right about there because there's a little blip there. But look, I have 1 stitch and I have 3 stitches left. Oops. That's not what you want to have happen. But in this case, okay, so my yarn's attached to the front, so I'm going to go through the front and I'm going to go through 2 stitches on the back and drop them off just to try to get my stitch count. back up here. So there I am, fixed. So I was at the back, so now I'm going to go from back to front. And when I get to these last 2 stitches, I'm just going to pull my working yarn through there and pull my needles out. I'll just let the knitting needle go. So now let's see the magic here. This is what it looks like. Okay, so there's a little bit of a ridge there. Oh, Amber started her Daphne socks. Now I feel like we need a drum roll. Let's turn it inside out and let's see what. Ooh, okay, I like that. Okay, let's go back to the wrong side. So see, there is kind of our little points on the end. So when we turn it, I like this, you guys. When we turn it right side out, no little pointy bits on the end. Okay. That might be its, I don't know. That, plus it is pretty easy. Hey, Christine. Oh, you like toe up socks. Then you don't have to worry about grafting. Yeah. Well, see, now this way, now if there's a pair of socks, a pattern that comes up and it is cuffed down, you can say, I can do the Finchley graft now. I don't have to worry about fiddling around with Kitchener stitch. So doesn't that turn out really nice? You can see the stitches just traveling up and over, and they're carrying right on. I think that's where I kind of messed up when I was talking. So maybe don't do this while you're talking. But besides that little blip right there, I think it looks pretty good. Oh, is Jocelyn leaving? Jocelyn, sorry, I missed some of your comments. I'll try to scroll back. But anyways, you guys, this is a winner. It was easy to do. For the most part, I could do it while I was talking. You don't have those little pointy bits. I don't know. I think that is a definite one to give a whirl. I like it. I really like. Hey, Susanna. So that was good. So Mark, I'm glad that I finally tried it, and I think I will definitely give this a try. The only thing is, if I try this, I don't want to forget how to do Kitchener stitch though, because that's the other thing. So if you were doing something in pattern, this works well for stockinette stitch. But like last week when we were talking about doing garter stitch or 1x1, I know Daisy is here and she is desperately wanting me to pet her. Yes, so garter stitch, like grafting in garter stitch or 1x1 rib or 2x2 rib. I haven't seen anything where the Finchley method talks about doing that in patterns. So I'm wondering if maybe you can't do it. So this may just work well for toe up sock or cuff down socks and doing a toe, but well worth it just learning it to graft your toe together. So you're probably still going to want to learn Kitchener stitch for grafting other things together. Where did I work? So this was my headband. This was New Start from what, a couple weeks ago? With that little cute little, it was called a cross stitch, but it really was like a 1x1 cable. Really cute little pattern. And I stitched it up right here. I actually had to really look for my grafting. It is not, I don't know. I was going to say I don't think it's absolutely perfect. This was the 2x2 Kitchener stitching. It was something you cannot do by talking. And I decided that I'm not going to demonstrate it because I really have to read it. I can't do it by memory like I could with the 1x1 rib and the garter and stockinette. So I am going to refer you, if you need to do 2x2 ribbed Kitchener stitching, go look at Very Pink Knits, her tutorial. She has got in the drop down box on her video, she has it all typed out for you. Because you really, and I would highly suggest printing it out and literally marking it as you go, stitch by stitch, needle, front needle, back needle, somehow to keep your place until you do it often enough. Like I found I really had to, I had to keep referring. I had to do one stitch, look at the look at the instructions, do one stitch and look at the instructions. And even then, I think somewhere I got off track, and then I kind of had to go by memory by what I was doing, and it doesn't actually look too bad. So maybe I was getting the hang of it by the time I got part way across. But it is something. Maybe after I do a few more headbands and I do it, maybe I'll get the rhythm of it. But it is one that you need a quiet room to do and don't want to be interrupted partway through. But it worked well for my headband, and it just has a little bit of a seam on the inside, not very much at all, which is nice. And I think the outside, you know, if you're wearing that, I wouldn't worry that would, you know, if that being visible, I think it looks nice. It looks good for a seam, right? I mean, a seam is a seam. You can generally see where the seams are. So anyways, that is that for grafting. So I hope the last 2 weeks, the videos have helped between all of the different ways to garter stitch or Kitchener stitch, Kitchener stitch, and doing the Finchley method. So there you guys go. I hope you feel like you've learned something and can try something on your next project. So let's talk about the winning yarn. Did you guys all see the Instagram poll? Both yarns, this is them here. These were some birthday. This is my birthday week. And Amber, who's here tonight in the chat, she gave both of these yarns to me for my birthday, which was so sweet of her. I put these up in the Instagram poll today to see which one should be this week's cast on. The pink and the yellow or the orange and the yellow was how I identified them. And it was close. It was close. But this one won out, the sock yarn. So let's take a look at both the yarns. So this is, I think this is a Manos yarn, isn't it? What does it say on the front here? Hand-painted superwash merino wool blend. Mirasol. There's the tag. Look at it, feels so beautiful. Does it say 50% wool? No, what does that say? 80%. Oh, 80% wool, 20% nylon. This is really nice. Spun in Peru. This feels really pretty. But everybody, most people who voted in Instagram or over on Facebook on the Wildflower wool pages said, you know what, Louise, you have done enough pink. Go for orange. Go for orange. And then there was a couple people like Wendy. There was like 3 or 4 people who are like, orange. Always say orange. That's right, Amber. This is the one you said I should start. But I thought, you know what? I'll let you guys decide. And this was the winner. So Bernat socks. I don't think I have ever used that, even though I know I have some. Do I have some in my stash? No, wait, no. You know what? I'm going to take that back. I don't know if I do or not. So I know I have never knit with it. So let's take a look at the ball band. What is it telling? Oh, rainbow. Rainbow is the color name. And 60% acrylic, 40% nylon. Okay, that's right. So this is a great yarn for anybody who can't wear wool. Okay, this will be a fun experiment. I have never knit with this. So this will be fun to see how it knits up and how it wears. I like that. But it's got 40% nylon, so it should wear really well. 50 grams and 210 yards. Okay, I'm excited. No, I have never, I'm sure, I know I have never knit with it, Amber. So this will be fun experiment. Has anybody tried this yarn? It feels really, really nice. It would make a nice shawl too. but I think it's gonna be socks. Hi, Tracy. Oh, I'm glad you're popping in. So I think this will also count as my May socks, my sock cast on. Now the question is, oh, is it a discontinued yarn? I don't know. I don't know. The colorway maybe is, but no, the yarn, I know they still make Bernat socks because I was just gonna say, who sells it? Is it a Lens Mills or Michael? No, I don't think Michael's has it. Lens Mills must have it because I've seen it. Oh no, I'm gonna take that. Maybe Lens Mills does. Yes, Lens Mills. Michael's no. I don't know. Does anybody else know where they've seen it? I'm gonna kind of scroll back through the comments here and see if I can just kind of catch up here. Oh, Walter's here. Hi, Walter. Oh, so Northern Knits Podcast is recording a video. Yeah, I know it. Okay, so anyways, yes, it does make a nice edge. The start. Okay, so I think everybody's just kind of chatting amongst themselves. Oh yeah, good for kids. Yeah, so if kids, yeah, if they find the wools maybe a little too itchy for their skin, this would be nice, and it feels really nice. Oh, Spin Rate has it. Oh, Christine, you think short socks? I know. I am all about short socks right now. I guess because it's spring, right? And it's hot. It was hot yesterday. I had a pair of socks on yesterday, and it was really warm here. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to take them off. So yeah, definitely. Maybe I should make short socks with it. Okay. So the next question is toe up or cuff down? Oh, Spin Rate is where you got it from? Oh, at the tent sale. Yep. So if it came from the tent sale, then the colorway might be discontinued because a lot of their colors are discontinued at the tent sale. But that's all right because I mean, it's kind of cool to get your hands on some discontinued yarn and look at those colors, you guys. Like there's green, there's yellow, there's orange, there's blue. Oh, and and it's up that's just gonna be so fun. Oh, 2 votes for toe up. How many meters? Let me check, Susanna. There was quite a bit where I swear every time, oh, there we go. Every time I try to find the meters on a ball of yarn, I always have to like go around twice before I can see it. 192 meters or 210 yards in the 50 grams. I'm excited to try. So toe up, a couple people said toe up. I've kind of been on a toe up kick. Oh, Amber says, question for the day. What, so what is that? Is that, yeah, toe up. I'm kind of liking toe up, which is funny because most of the time I always knit cuff down. And now I'm really quite enjoying doing the toe up with that Turkish cast on. Okay. Maybe this will be, yeah, okay, maybe I will just do toe up. Hey, Pat, how are you? Oh, Judith, Judy, you're here. So, ladies, what do you think? This is the winning yarn for this week. Toe up or cuff down? We've got 2 votes for toe up. Is that what everybody thinks? Is that what well, I can't quite cast it on yet because I'm going to use my little 9-inch needle again. Go for toe up with my new needles. Exactly, Amber. That's just what I was going to grab. Teresa, all your boys love short socks. Thank goodness, because they have big feet. I know that kind of compensates for big foot and then just do a short little leg. That's true. So Pat, I think I saw Pat say toe up. So everybody's saying toe up. Oh, socks is discontinued. Interesting. Oh, well, maybe. But I know I've still seen it. Maybe everybody that has it still on the shelves, maybe they just have some old stock. Oh, hey, Joanne. I'm glad you're popping in, Joanne. Let's see. Oh, yes, so the little short needles. Hey, Emma, how are you? The little short needles. This is a 9.5-inch circular. A lot of circulars, the little short ones for socks, are 9 inches. This one here has this little extra 1/2 inch on one of the needle tips. So I've got the longer working needle tip. There you go. You see that? In my right hand. And I find it works really nice. Okay, well, it's a can't well, we'll have to see. I know, hopefully it's not discontinued. That's a bummer, right? Every time you find something that you want to try, and a lot of like I find Michael's is really bad for that. They'll introduce a yarn, and then seems like hardly at any time at all, um, they've discontinued it and they've got something new out, which is, I like seeing all the new stuff, but I wish they'd keep the other stuff around a little bit longer too, right? Oh, and Amber, you got your vaccine? Oh, it is making you sleepy. Well, you know what? Well, good job. It's almost bedtime anyways. I know, Joanne, I really like it. I mean, I don't have any problem with a regular 9-inch needle, but this I really do like. And I think it just that extra little 1/2 inch just gives you a little more to hold on to here, and just, I find it feels really comfortable. I like it. This is definitely my go-to needle. And it's that, oh, I don't think I have the package here. C Knits, SEE Knits. These needles, Christine, they came from Knit Stitch here in London. And I know she does do, they should be on her website. I think it's just knitstitch.ca, and you can find her. And the needles were under, I know she doesn't across the top, like when you're on the website, there isn't, last time I checked, there wasn't a spot for needles. Look under, I think it was other goodies or notions or something like that, and that's where you'll find needles. But they're really nice. They're a bamboo, I don't sure, a wooden tip. The needles, the tips swivel, which I just find fascinating. You can just sit and the needle tip turns. The join is really nice. The needle tip is really nice. Where's a good spot for you to see? Anyways, C Knit. Yes, SEE Knit. They're a Japanese needle, and they are really, really nice. Oh, 9 inch is just a bit too small. Well then, Emma, yeah, I would, I mean, I always worry that, I can sit here and I can rave and say, oh, they're wonderful, because not everybody's has their own personal opinion, but I really like them. I really like them. This is, yeah, well, I guess I've done 2 socks. I mean, this is my first pair on here, and I'm going to cast this guy off. I'd meant to do this on the weekend, but I didn't quite get to it. But I'm going to cast this off tonight. I'm going to do Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off on here. And then actually, well, since we're talking about this, the cast off, because remember the last number of weeks we've been doing different cast ons, different cast offs. And when we were talking about the Russian cast off, we were talking about doing it in pattern versus just doing it as a like all knits. And a lot of people said, like they like to cast off in pattern, which I typically do too. Oh, so Joanne, you like your 9-inch Chagu? Yes, I'm sure. I don't think I have a 9-inch Chagu. I think I have an Addy and a Haya. So, oh, Pat, you want to know how many stitches are on the needle? I have got 64 on here, and it fits around just nice. So yeah, I don't think, because I know that was somebody else's concern. They thought if you only had 64 on here, would that be enough stitches to go around that extra 1/2 inch? And it does not seem to be a problem at all. Now this is Patton's Croy, and it is a little thicker, but I don't think I would worry about that. I think it should be fine. Shipping prices. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know. Shipping price, and you know what, especially shipping from Canada is just ridiculous. But I know. It's what are we gonna do? I guess we complain about it, but it is just the way it is. So, anyways, I was gonna talk about the Jenny's superly surprisingly stretchy. Okay, let me start that again. Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast off. Gosh, I don't know why they have to make everything be such a tongue twister. Antoinette, how are you? You love double points. You know what? I am right there with you. I have always been die-hard double points. Like, if you look at all my socks that are sitting around here, um, already started, they are all on DPNs because that is typically has been my preferred way. I know a lot of people love doing magic loop, and I can do magic loop, and I do magic loop when all my DPNs are occupied on other projects. But you know what? I have to say, I might be converted to the little 9 inch. I really do like just anything that you can just go round and round and round and not fiddle with. Even like hats on a 16-inch needle versus magic loop. I would do it on a 16-inch needle all the time. I'll do it on magic loop, but there again, that's typically just because I can't find a 16-inch needle that's not busy with another project, right? Joanne, so you learned to knit on double points. So, and you said you like your 9-inch chow goose. So what is the 9-inch circular your favorite go-to now, Joanne? Or are you still a DPN girl at heart? Or are you like me and you just use whatever is free and easy, the first thing you can find to cast on? Okay, so what I keep wanting to say about this cast on, yes. So yes to, now I don't know what you're saying yes to, Joanne. Yes to DPNs? Maybe I'll just ask one question instead of like three. Oh, Antoinette, 9 is too small. So I wonder if this extra, because this is a 9.5, so I wonder if that extra little ½ inch would be enough. Or maybe you might still find it too small. And that's okay, right? Because, yeah, then stick with DPNs, right? You just, if you find something that works, that's what you want to stick with, right? So what I wanted to say, and I don't think I talked about this before about the cast off. Did I? There again, Mark, because Mark and I do it a knit night every week, so we're always chatting. And about her cast off. Okay, so Lisa said, how were they to cast on a toe up sock? No, I use no, I don't. I I do use a magic loop needle to get my toe done because there's not enough stitches, obviously, to go around the full 9.5 inches. So I wait until I get all of my toe increases done till I get to my 64, and then I switch it over to the 9.5. But yeah, I have to start it with something else. Okay, so Joanne, so 9 inch is your favorite go-to. Amber, you like your 9-inch circulars? Yes, but everybody has their own preference. Exactly. And you know what? And it's not a contest, right? It's not like one team is better than the other. If you're in Magic Loop, Team Magic Loop or Team Tiny Circular, we all get the same finished product, right? So just use what you like the best, right? I always like trying something new. Oh, Teresa, you use Magic Loop? Yeah. And there's nothing like, I mean, Magic Loop, the reason I started learn Magic Loop like years and years ago is it's great because if you don't have DPNs, right? Or you don't have a 16-inch or you don't have a whatever, as long as you've got a really long double pointed needle, you can do you can use it for anything, right? So in that way is really handy. But I just love being able to go round and round and round and not have to stop and switch DPNs or, fiddle with your cord when you're, switching your sides on Magic Loop. I just find just that, those couple seconds that it saves, I I really like it. I think it adds up. So for me, the little 9.5 works really, really good. Oh, Amber, you're afraid you'll drop your stitches, so no DPNs for your socks. And there again, I find like I don't like really short DPNs. Um, I don't know. I like say, but I don't like the really, really long ones. I mean, remember those really long ones that we probably all learned on? Those are so long and cumbersome and get in the way. I don't know if a 4 or 5 inch, 5 inch maybe is what I like for DPN. I would have to measure again. Do I? I maybe don't have one within arm's reach, but yeah, somewhere in the middle, somewhere because yeah, I don't want to worry about stitches dropping off either. Okay, so Joanne, what you're saying, oh, you tried Magic Loop, it's okay, but I would always pull the wrong side. Um, yes, so that's okay. So my tip there, Joanne, when I'm teaching somebody to do Magic Loop is to never pull your cord, push your needle tip in. I mean, that is always one of those do as I say, not as I do kind of tricks. Yeah, so if you've got something on Magic Loop, instead of pulling your cord, because then you could very easily pull your stitches right off, I always tell people to push the needle tip in when you're switching things around. But I know we don't always do what we should do, right? I know. And then inevitably we have all pulled the wrong cord, right? Okay. Oh, Teresa, you used 5 inch. I think 5 inch is probably what I use too. Oh, Pat, you like the long ones. You like 8 inches. See, it's not, I love the fact that there's so many different things. You know, even if you like DPNs, there's so many different lengths. Bernat socks. Oh, Susanna, did you find it? Or did you find, what did you find for Zakia for the Bernat socks? Ooh, what's this? Amber saying, oh yes, the Be a Freaking Unicorn. A bunch of us ordered yarn. There was, oh, how many dyers? There was a couple. There's a few local to us dyers taking part in that fundraiser, and what 3 right here within the city. And so it was really, yeah, it was fun to go shopping on Saturday. Yes, I know Amber bought some. There was quite a few of us bought, and quite a few of the dyers said that they sold out right quickly Saturday morning, and then they were going to restock their shelves because the sale goes on until May 24th. So if you want to go check this out, it is Be a Freaking Unicorn. www.beafreakingunicorn.com. And money raised from the sale of this yarn. There's hand-dyed yarn. There were some stitch markers. There may have been a pattern or two. Most of it was beautiful yarn, and all of the dyers or the makers are donating a portion of their sale to their local LGBTQ community group. So, which is a great cause to support. So yes, I did buy. I did. I did buy some, which I'm really, really excited. Can't wait to get new yarn. Let's see here. Oh, Chalgu has DPNs. Yes, they do. Do I have any? I get, see, I end up losing all the packages for my needles, so I end up forgetting which ones are which unless they're stamped on them. I know I have some Haya Haya. I don't know if I have Chalgu DPNs. I know I've got a lot of Chalgu fixed circulars. I love them. I love my Chalgus. Yes, 3 were from London, which was exciting. Oh, Amber, you were up early. You know what? I woke up. So Saturday morning, the site was going live. And for those of us who'd been following it on Instagram, we've been seeing these updates, for the last few weeks, and it was like just like all these little teasers. And I'm like, oh, I had 3 dyers that I was really interested in, and it was going live at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. And I thought I would be there at 9 o'clock. Well, when I got up early Saturday morning to just put the finishing touches on the Fiber Friends podcast, editing wise, and got it up on YouTube. And I could feel a migraine starting. So I went back to bed and I totally slept through 9 o'clock. And I woke up somewhere like after 10. And so, anyways, I went on, and the yarn that I wanted was still there. So thankfully, I made 2 purchases, and I'm still thinking possibly about a third. Oh, Suzanne, you ordered from Ginger Snap? Or yes, Ginger Snap. That, yes, they had lovely stuff there, and it was nice because there was dyers across. There was some, yeah, and there was a couple in the States, so there was kind of dyers somewhat local for a lot of people. Amber, oh yes, I saw you ordered from 3. I have never heard of Rowan and Raven either, and she is in London. So yeah, that was nice. I went through the whole website, and there was 40 different vendors, I think, that took part. Timber Yarns, Songbird Fibers, Debbie from the Loving Path, Nadine, I think was her name, who is Rowan and Raven. Ginger Snap That, the Pinecone Project, Socks and Shawls is another dyer here in the London area. I know there was just so many. So I went through and I checked every one of them and checked out their website and everything. And it was really fun. And I found there was a whole lot more dyers here in Ontario than I knew of. There was 2 or 3 that were up around the Barrie area, some in the Ottawa area. So it is, yeah. So it was fun to see all of the different. Knitter's Pride has 10-inch. Oh, 10. Oh, as in 10-inch, a 10-inch circular. See, somebody else said that Addie, I think, had a 10-inch. See, and I think like Addie that I have, I think is even smaller, as in it might be an 8.5. So I guess there's even the short circulars. It's nice that they're getting a little variety in there for different lengths, some shorter, some longer. And maybe maybe that is just a ploy to get us to buy more needles. I don't know, but hopefully that way it will be it'll catch everybody, right? Some people who like them a little shorter, a little longer. There'll be something for everyone, which will be fantastic. Oh, Amber, you visited all of them too? I know, it was great, wasn't it? I know, and it's such a worthy cause, right? And I don't know if it was mostly, well, I think some of the community organizations were just for teens, or some were for all ages, but it was yes, for gay, lesbian, transgender, all of the, yeah. And and it's great. It was just so programs. And I think I don't know, I keep always thinking that the program, or that the point of the fundraiser was really to help support youth in their community, but I know some of the organizations were there for all ages, so which was really fantastic. So yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get my new yarn. I mean, yarn buying is always fun, but when it helps support such a great cause is, just an extra bonus. Well, that might be. Oh, you know what? I can show you one more thing now that Jocelyn's not here. Actually, I'm not really going to show it to you, but I'll show you what I was working on all weekend long. And my project. So Jocelyn and I are going to be live here again Thursday night. This is our monthly check-in for our whips. Amber, look at this. This is just for you, Amber. My orange summer top. This was the project that I picked to finish in April. So I This is what I've been working on. Oh, so what is this? Oh, amber. So you know songbird yarn and fibers. Oh, it was for her high school. That yes, because Vicky used to be a teacher until she quit her teaching job to dye yarn full time. Oh, so that's great. So she's giving back to her high school. Awesome that she taught at. That's great. It is bigger. It is bigger. That is for sure. So I'm not going to show you exactly how much I have done, how much I have left. Maybe I just have to sew it up. We will see on Thursday. But this is what I spent a considerable amount of time working on over the weekend and watching Bridgerton. I started rewatching that. And I also started watching a new show on Netflix. I think it's called Bones and Shadows. It's pretty interesting too. I know, isn't I love that orange. That orange is kind of an orange and beige variegated. That's Patton's Grace. And it has been in my stash for I don't even know how long. Oh, okay, so Susanna, so Calgary local yarn dyer. So Ginger Snap that. Are they in Calgary? Because I was trying to think if they were in Alberta or if they were in Manitoba. I knew they were west, but I couldn't remember what province they were in. Hey Beth, how are you? That is fine. I'm glad that you're popping in here to say hi. So this was the yarn and Patton's Grace. I think this, I'm sure they discontinued this yarn a number of years ago, but I'm also thinking that they've brought it back again because I'm sure I've seen it on shelves again. Anyways, what colorway is this? Tangelo. Anyways, I like it, and I'm really, really excited to wear it. I'm following it from a pattern. Do I have the magazine around here? Not sure if I have it. Oh, I can show it to you. It was what time on Thursday? It is 7:30 Eastern, 7:30 my time. So half an hour earlier than tonight. There. So this magazine, this was last summer's issue. So if you have this stuck in your, if you buy it, I don't know, do people buy knitting magazines anymore? I'm not so sure that is such a big thing. I still buy the odd one. I bought this one last summer because I liked this top, which I actually made and wore, and there was a few others in here that I liked. So, guys, find the picture. So I am making it following the pattern, which you guys all know I don't very often do because I usually kind of mix it up a bit, but there it is. And it's just this all over eyelet pattern, which is really nice. Okay, they're in Alberta. Not sure if Calgary, another town. Okay, they're in Alberta. So I'm like really wanting to wear this. And oh, what's that joint? The top you're making it in is in which? Is the same yarn? Oh, you made several mistakes. Oh no. So are you taking it back, Joanne, or is it one that I know you had made one and you were just going to leave it because it probably wasn't going to be too noticeable, right? So I really am excited to wear this. And so the sweater that I'm knitting, Beth, I'm not sure if that question's for me or not. The sweater or the yarn, the Patton's Grace, it's 100% cotton. And so it feels really nice. So I'm excited to wear it. So I just need to get it finished. It's knit in 2 pieces, a front and a back. And I just have to sew it up. And then I'll be able to wear it at some point. So, and that's really what I worked on. Oh, I did pull this out. This was last New Start yarn. It hasn't gotten very far. I mean, I literally have that many stitches on the needle, but I did have a whole lot more. Yikes, this looks like a mess, doesn't it? I had a nice little swatch knit out of it. And oh, you just looked and Patton's Grace is still sold online. Good. Because it is really nice. I really like the Patton's Grace. And I'm glad because I'm sure at one point it was discontinued. Anyways, who knows? It's still there. So that's good. We'll just carry on. It's there. So yeah, my new start yarn. I played around with it, trying to find the stitch pattern that I liked with it, and because it's so variegated, the one stitch pattern, it was kind of a lacy pattern, but it wasn't showing up as well, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'll save that for a different project with a different yarn. So I'm kind of back to the drawing board. I've been thinking about it as I've been working on the lace. I've been thinking about this yarn, trying to think of what I wanted because I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to make with it. And now that I'm kind of back to the drawing board, the only thing I do know is that I like it knit up in stockinette better than garter. So I'm going to, whatever that does turn out to be, it will be in stockinette for sure. So that has been my week. The lace knitting, I finished the sock, just got to cast it off. Yeah, so that's been that. So I'm hoping I can get lots more done this week. Oh, they are in Calgary? Okay, because I know they came to Dawn's House Codependent Knitters a few years ago. They were kind of doing a cross, well, I don't know, I don't want to say cross Canada, but coming into Ontario. I'm not sure if they were coming here for one of the larger fiber festivals in the fall, maybe Kitchener or Kitchener, I'm thinking maybe. And anyways, they stopped at Dawn's House, the Codependent Knitters, and did a little pop-up sale there. They were really super lovely. Lovely yarn. That was a fun night. But boy, way back when we could all get together, it was so nice seeing all these knitters that you knew and like just pop in, buy some yarn, and it was a really lovely night. Oh, but yeah, that was a big ordeal for them to bring all of their stock. And I think they maybe did a couple of other little pop-up shows along the way, either on the way here and on the way home, which I guess makes great sense for them business-wise, right? To have as many stops as you can. That was fun to get to meet them and see all their yarn in person. Oh, those good old days being together with other with other knitters. Hopefully we'll be on track to oh, I know, Beth, right? You remember that. I know that the good old days, right? Boy, hopefully we'll be back on track to have stuff like that happen again soon. Fingers crossed. So, has everybody else had a good knitting week? Maybe we can just take a couple of minutes before we wrap up. What is everybody working on this week? Do you guys have any goals? What do you have, are you close to getting something finished, or you want to try to spend all your working or your knitting time after work this week? Is it focused on one project? Oh, so Joanne, you remember those good old days? Susanna, what you said you don't remember? Was that because don't you have a local knitting group that you can meet up with? Once we're out of all this mess. Gainsey Tea started, Pat. That's exciting. I know Antoinette missed that time. Amber, yes, I saw your Duke socks. They looked so good in the red. That looked really nice. And yeah, I saw your comment. You said you started the Daphne socks. That's exciting. Fun. I'm going to have to figure out. I'm going to have to think now what this is going to end up being. Beth, you've got 2 shawls you're working on. Drilling over the yarn. Oh, Joanne, you've been scrapbooking. I have not done that in quite a long time. I used to be a big scrapbooker when my kids were smaller, and yeah. Oh, morning coffee socks. Awesome for socks. Are they, Antoinette, are they toe up or cuff down? Teresa, you finished your grandson's sweater. Now working on, his hats and mitts. Fantastic. that must feel so good to have the sweater finished. Now the hats and mitts will just like zoom off your needles because they're so tiny. Temperance shawl and lace. Oh, and a ruffled shawl. Beth, nice. Oh, Joanne, today you did the page for the Easter sock weekend. Well, that's fun. I love that. Oh, Tracy. Oh, Tracy, you're like so responsible. She's working on finishing up working on UFOs. Good for you. Okay, so Amber, what's this? The color you originally had for Daphne socks didn't work out. Oh, so you had to get a different color for it. Didn't you had to get, as in you had to go buy, or you stashed dough? Because you've been buying, you've had all your birthday yarn. So did you just switch birthday yarn from one ball to another? Oh, there you go, Joanne. So you're scrapping so your grandchildren can remember your hobbies. I like it. Cuff down for Antoinette. Nice. So, okay. So there you go, Antoinette. So how are you going to finish that toe? Are you going to try the Finchley graft, or are you going to Kitchener, or do you do a 3-needle bind off? I guess I never do a 3-needle bind off for my socks. I guess because I always Kitchener, so I always kind of forget about that. But 3-needle bind off is an alternative too, isn't it? Oh, that's right. Your Nacho shawl that you're working on, Amber. Emma, you're doing toes? Oh, on hubby's socks. So you can get to your Kelda Tea by Knipex. Ooh, there you go. That's good incentive. Get those socks done so then you can work on a knit for you, right? Oh, that's what you don't remember, Suzanne. Okay. You don't remember when they were at the Codependent Knitters? Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I mean, it's like, well, crazy. It wasn't 2020. Was it 2019? Maybe a couple of years ago. I mean, oh my gosh, the years like fly by so quick, right? I would say it's only 2 years ago, but maybe it was 3. Oh, stash yarn from Full Moon Fibers. Good. Well, you've got a well-stocked stash with some pretty yarn, Amber. So I'm sure you've got pretty much something for every project you might want there. So Tracy, oh, oh, come on, take the compliment, Tracy. You're super organized and responsible, and yeah, you're like doing all the right things here. You just want to get some done instead of more collecting. Oh my gosh. I know. See, you're doing the responsible thing. Good for you. Oh, Tenga tea. Yes. Oh, you're doing it in cotton, Lisa. Nice. Oh, hey, Beth, you're in the US and you're trying to talk my husband into using her um, totally. That will keep the economy moving, Beth. Absolutely. Trust me, that's how I think about a lot of my purchases, right? Oh, Antoinette Kitchener stitch. Yay. Good. Valerie. Oh, you worked late. Oh, bummer. Oh, well, you know what? I'm feeling so much better. I had just really kind of a really not a terrible work day, but it started out with a few bumps in the road, shall we say. And it was just one of those busy days. I still have to do some paperwork to finish up my day when we're done here. But oh well. It could have been a whole lot worse. But I'm just happy to be here chatting with you guys about knitting. This is a great way to finish off a Monday night. So Valerie, so I hope your workday, even though you worked late, I hope it all went well. Oh, Peony is the name of the yarn, or the new yarn that you've got for the Daphne socks. Peony. So I'm guessing it must be pink then, is it? I would think Peony would have to be pink. Well, guys, this has been really fun, and it has, like I said, it has been a great way to end off my work day by having a nice chat with everybody here. And look at this. I've got this beautiful yarn that I'm going to cast on. I think, okay, Amber, yes, it is pink. Yes. Pink, peony needs to be pink, right? How could it be any other color? So I guess my first order of business is to cast off this sock, cast off this one, and start this one. I guess technically I could start this one with my magic loop needles, but I don't know. I want to try. I got to get this off the needle, so I'm just going to sit here and cast it off. All right, everybody. Yes, have a wonderful week. Oh, okay. So Emma, I got to read this last comment before we head out. Emma started a 100-day challenge on April 1st. Oh no, is this like 100-day as in like no yarn buying, Emma? Oh, no new cast-ons until July 9th. Oh my goodness. I I couldn't do I couldn't do that. Well, I mean, I could do that because I know I have a sweater that I need to finish and a huge shawl. Yeah, so maybe I could do it. Maybe I should do it, but I don't think I will. So Emma, okay, keep us updated on your progress. Maybe, yeah, I don't think I'll ever do that, but I will. I'll be impressed by your your stick to itness to not cast on anything. How's that? All right, everybody. Well, have a great evening. Have a great week. And if you're around, yeah, I know you can't imagine me doing it. I know. I don't think I could. I have just gotten so used to starting something new every week. I couldn't imagine going 100 days without casting on something. I think well, yeah, I don't think I could physically do it. Maybe a month, maybe? 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Susanna. So it'll be half an hour earlier than what we started tonight. So yeah, so Jocelyn and I will be here Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we will see. I have no idea how she's made out with the project that she said she was going to work on. We'll see. I'll do the grand reveal of my project then. And then I have to figure out what I am going to work on for the month of May until the first Thursday in June. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I know what I'm going to pick out of my stash projects. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up for the night so we can all carry on just knitting knitting at home. I'm going to pull up some Netflix and grab a drink, and I'm going to sit and relax for a little while for the rest of the evening. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great knitting week, everybody. And everybody except for Emma, I hope you cast on something new and fun this week, okay? And I will hopefully see you Thursday night. And if not, I will be back here Monday and we can chat some more. Happy knitting, everybody.